Hey YouTube, Twig here, bringing you guys my Deskbot deck profile for January 2016. It's a really fun deck with a lot of different combos, mostly being synchro oriented. It has a lot of different cards to make the deck work, and we got a lot of support for it, so I thought I'd bring you guys the deck profile. So let's go ahead and get started. We'll start off with the first Despots and go in that order. I run 2, Despot 1. All the Despots have different levels and different abilities. Matching up with their numbers, and Despot 1 is the only tuner of the Despots, and this card's effect, it gains 500 attack and defense for each machine-type monster you control, and if 2 or more machine-type monsters are special summoned at the same time while this card's in your graveyard, except during the damage step, you could special summon it. So I think the idea for this card was when you pendulum summon, your Despots, you can get this guy back from the graveyard since you can't special summon him with a pendulum summoning since he is level 1. So basically, you pendulum summon, special summon him from the grave, and there's your synchro play right there. And I also run 3 Despot 2. Very important Despot. If it's special summon, you can add 1 Despot card from your deck to your hand. All machine type monsters you control gain 500 attack or defense, except this card. So all the Despots have different abilities for boosting up by 500 attack. This one boosts everyone up except itself. And the search effect is really nice because you can add things like scales or other higher level Despots you need for important plays. And I also run 3 Despot 3s. This is one of the most important ones in my opinion, because when it's normal summon, you can special summon 1 Despot from your deck, except for 3, and once per turn during either player's turn, you can target 1 Despot monster you control, and it gains 500 defense and attack for each Despot you currently control until the end phase. So one of the big plays is, to normal summon 3, special 2, and then get a search off of 2. But you can also special summon whatever you need for the situation, because lots of the other higher level Despots have key effects for your different plays. And I also run 3 Despot 4. This card is good just for getting over your opponent's pretty tough monsters. When it attacks, you can activate the effect in which your opponent takes no battle damage this turn. And if you do, send 1 Despot from your deck to the graveyard. If you do, this card gains attack equal to the one you sent times its level times 500. So if I send Despot 5, it'll gain level 5 times 500, which is 2500, making it very easy to get over, high attack point monsters. And its other effect is you can special summon 2 Despot monsters when it destroys an opponent's monster by battle with different levels from your hand and or graveyard in defense mode. So you can get back the pendulum monsters you sent to the graveyard, because when they're sent to the graveyard, they don't go to the extra deck. They go where they were specified. And then moving on to the pendulum Despots that we use, I run 3 Despot 5. Very good card. If it's normal or special summon, you can target 1 spell or trap on the field, destroy it, and this card gains 500 attack for each face-up Despot in your extra deck. And if this card in your pendulum zone is destroyed, you can target 1 Despot monster in your graveyard and special summon it. You can only use the effect of 5 once per turn. So it's got a great pop effect, making it work very well with Wavering Eyes. Having a search off of the monster's effect along with Wavering Eyes' own ability is very good. And you can special summon it with Despot 3, meaning you'll get the spell or trap effects. You can get rid of pesky pendulum scales your opponent controls, or back row, whatever you need. And I also run 3 Despot 6. The second pendulum card we got, it pretty much shares the same effect as Despot 5, except when it is normal or special summon, you can target 1 monster on the field and change its battle position, and it also gains 500 attack for each face-up Despot in the extra deck the same way. And if this card's pendulum zone is destroyed, you can target 1 Despot in your graveyard and add that target to your hand. So your basic move, a really good move, is to open up these 2 cards and Wavering Eyes, because you'll set the scales. Wavering Eyes, get your search, and get both of these effects off as well. You just want to make sure you have a Despot in the graveyard so you can fully utilize 6. And I also run 2 Despot 7. Only 2 of 7, just because running too many of the high level ones is pretty dangerous, especially since they don't have any search effects. They just have power effects. This card gains 500 attack for each Despot card in your graveyard. Monsters your opponent control cannot target face-up Despots for attacks except this one. And if this card attacks a defense position monster, it inflicts piercing. So it can become a really high heavy beater since you'll use a lot of the... Oops, wrong pile. A lot of the Despot monsters for synchro summons, which means you'll get a lot of them in the graveyard. And like all Despot monsters, their effects for the pendulum scales are you cannot pendulum summon monsters except for Despots. This effect cannot be negated. It's pretty fair because their scales are 1 through 10, meaning you have a wide variety of special summons to use with the Despots. You pretty much get all of them out through pendulum summoning. And I also run 2 Deskbot 8s. She shares the effect that this card gains 500 attack for each Deskbot in your graveyard, and your opponent cannot target face-up Despots you control with card effects except this one. And this card can make up to 2 attacks during the battle phase on monsters. So another great effect, very easy to get this one up to a high attack as well, just like Deskbot 7. And that's it for the Deskbot monsters. We'll move on to the non-Deskbot monsters. I run 1 Birdman. This card's awesome, especially when you combo it with Deskbot 3, just because, whatever you summon off of 3, you can bounce 3 to special summon this, and then whatever the level was, you have a synchro summon right then and there. And I also run 1 Zephyros. This card, same concept, just different method of special summoning. Bounce it to your hand from when this card's in the graveyard to special summons. You can even bounce pendulum scales that you've set to get this guy out. And I also run 2 Machina Fortress. Just another heavy hitter that I like to run in the deck. Very easy to utilize him in the deck. You just have to discard him and another machine type to special summon it, getting Despots in your graveyard, which can always be brought back later as well. That is it for the monsters. We'll move on to spells. I run 3 Machine Duplication, a very powerful card in the deck, just because if you open up with 1 Despot, and let's say you have 1 in your graveyard, Despot 1, what I mean by, activate Machine Dupe, special summon the 2, special summon Despot 1, you have 4 monsters on the field for your full capability for anything you want to do, whether it be, push against your opponent or special summon a stronger monster. And the same concept is used for Inferno Reckless Summon. Run 3 of this as well. The only thing is, easier way to special summon, because Machine Dupe, your monsters have to be at 500 or less. So if you're using any of the Despot boost effects, this will not work on those monsters. Inferno Reckless Summon will work just when you special summon a monster. So it's a quick play. If you special, you'll get your 2 out, but your opponent can also get 2 face up. But you should be able to get over your opponent's problem after you resolve this card if you have the right plays in mind. And I also run 1 limiter removal. They're all machine types, so very easy to kill your opponent with a good push with this card. 1 Foolish Burial. Use this to get Zephyros or Despot 1 in the graveyard where you want it to be. 2 Wavering Eyes. Don't like too many. I don't like 3 just because it's not fully pendulum. If the whole deck was pendulums, then yeah, I'd run 3 Wavering Eyes. But if I open up this card with my normal Despots, then it's really just for until I get my other ones or my opponent has pendulum scales. And then for traps, I run 3 Call the Haunted. Just, easy to get the Despots back. None of them have special summon restrictions, so this card's very good with them. And 1 Vanities and 1 Solemn Warning to finish up the traps. So yeah, that's it for the main deck. We'll move on to extra. I run 1 Deskbot Jet. This card is the level 10, I think. I miscounted sometimes. Yeah, the level 10 Despot monster. Its effect is it requires 1 tuner, 1 or more non-tuners, and this card gains 500 attack and defense for each Despot card on the field. You can only use one of the effects of Despot Jet once per turn. You can target 1 Despot card you control, destroy it, and if you do, special summon 1 Despot from your deck, or you can target 1 Despot card you control and 1 face-up card on the field and destroy them. So you can get over opponents, pesky cards, or, get more needed cards that you have from your deck out on the field. And I also run 1 Hastor, 1 Beast, a good card in the deck, especially with pendulums being a big thing now. 1 Armades, 1 Librarian, 1 Barkion, 1 Black Rose, 1 Moonlight Rose, 1 Scarlight, Red Dragon Archfiend, 1 Crimson Belader, 1 Trishula, 1 Leo, 1 Star Eater, Gear Gigan X for extra searches, and 1 Castel. So yeah, that's it for the deck profile. Hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and Kira Twig out.